All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, look, as we all know, Joe Douglas hit an absolute grand slam this offseason when it came to adding talent to the New York Jets roster, whether it was through free agency or the draft, adding guys on offense and defense. I mean, man, he was really doing it all. He added leadership, winners, the list goes on, system fits, culture fits. He gave Zach Wilson enough helps to have success moving forward. He completely revitalized specific positions on the team. You know, think about the guard position for a second. Laken Tomlinson, one of the best guards in the entire NFL, is coming over on a multi-year deal. This guy has had playoff success. He knows the system. He, in fact, knows the coaching staff. He's going to come in and know exactly what to do. I envision Laken Tomlinson really being an anchor on the offensive line for years to come. Tight end, it's another position completely revitalized from this point last season. Conklin, Rutgerd, Uzama, all three of those guys are better than every single player that we had at the tight end position last year. Okay, it's crazy to think about it. So the bottom line is Joe Douglas has done an outstanding job. And yes, as Jets fans, we all know this. But in this one, I really wanted to ask the question here, and I actually did a video on this, I think maybe a couple weeks ago. Are the Jets done adding free agents? Okay, they were in talk. It seemed like there was a lot of smoke regarding a possible Larry Ogunjobi New York Jet. There was a lot of smoke there, right? But as we all know, Ogunjobi ends up signing a one-year contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Off the board. We look at the safety position, kind of a position of need. We'll see what happens with Pinnock, Ashton Davis. Jordan Whitehead's going to be locking down one of the safety spots. But Jaquiski Tartt he was a guy out there that I felt like, hey, much like Laken Tomlinson, he knows Saleh, he knows the defense. He's going to come in and know exactly what to do, exactly where to be. Relatively cheap as well. He's really been banged up throughout the course of his career. He's battled with injuries. I really felt like he would have been an awesome acquisition. Signed a one-year contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, now, look, there's still some guys out there that I really, really like. Now, not saying everybody on this little list here that I have written down is a perfect system fit, but, I mean, let's just rattle off some names. Anthony Barr, Riley Reiff, Landon Collins, Kwon Alexander, Brandon Shell, Eric Fisher, Duane Brown. All those guys. Those are NFL players. Those guys aren't borderline, maybe they'll make a roster cuts. No, not in the least. All those guys are, legitimate NFL players. And if we take a look at the Jets cap space right now, it ranges from anywhere from 5.9 million to just under 10, depends on where you look. So, on paper, numbers wise, the Jets do have enough money to at least bring one more player in. Now, they have been connected to Kwon Alexander. He worked out for the team right before the start of the NFL draft. So, it's been a while. It was back in April. We're at the end of June. Okay, so there's been a lot of time there. Weak side linebacker. We'll see what happens. Do the Jets want to go with the young guys? Hamza Nasruddin, Jamie Sherwood? I don't know. We'll see. Or do they want to go for a veteran option in Kwon Alexander, bring him in on a cheap one-year deal? They could afford it. And this is a guy who's worked with Saleh before in the past. He's coming off all things considered, a solid season, given the contract terms last year with the New Orleans Saints. I felt like, if you get a guy for $1.1 million and he's playing in 12 games, starts in 8, records a handful of tackles, a solid amount of sacks, I think that's worth it. I definitely think it's worth it for sure. We know that the Jets also have some interest in Riley Reiff, right? Former Bengal, Viking, and Lion. And he would kind of fill that need of the Joe Douglas third swing tackle type of guy, the role that George Fant was pretty much in last season, right? Becton was ready to go at left tackle. Morgan Moses was brought in summertime, starts at right tackle. George Fant, he's got to be ready if somebody goes down. Lo and behold, Mekhi Becton goes down week 1, season-ending injury. Fant fills in and does a outstanding job. In my personal opinion, really in pass pro, the guy, what a season for George Fant. But anyway, Morgan Moses goes on, signs a multi-year deal with Baltimore. Now we're in a position where it's Becton and Fant. Great. We have two awesome guys that have shown that they could dominate in this league, guys that still have room to grow, guys that I'm excited about. Specifically Mekhi Becton, though. If he could stay healthy, stay on the field, this guy could just be, we all know the nicknames, Mount Becton, Highway 77, to just get behind him and just watch them just plow through defenders. It's just so much fun to watch. But with the Jets, with any team out there, it's football, you gotta have an insurance policy. You have to. I mean, look at the Jets last season. Look at all the struggles that came with not having enough depth at edge, at safety. You know, so many guys went down. It was unbelievable. So if I'm Joe Douglas, I think I would push to get one of these offensive linemen in. I think for me, Duane Brown is interesting. You're probably going to have to shell out more cash than, you know, maybe a Riley Reiff. But man, if Brown is still out there. And I think if I'm Joe Douglas, I'm definitely picking up the phone and seeing what's up with that whole situation. And that's actually going to be a future video, maybe in a couple days. We'll see. But man, at the end of the day, the Jets, bottom line, we have enough money to bring 1-2 players in to continue to add to this football team. I don't think any free agents out there are going to, you know, just jettison this team to, you know, a deep playoff push or anything like that. But I definitely, you know, the fan in me, I want to put the best product out in the field, especially coming off the Gase era last season, you know, another year where the Jets are finishing in the bottom 5. You know, it's just unreal, right? So excited about the future. Love the pieces, love the new acquisitions, but there's still a lot of talent out there. I'm hoping for at least one, right? Whether it's Kwon, whether it's an offensive tackle, we'll see, maybe a safety. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Who do you think you are really eyeing out there, if anybody at all? Or if you are the Jets, are you just going to save the cash, maybe try to see what's up at the trade deadline? Maybe a guy with a bigger contract could, you know, is on the move, or a team wants to deal a specific player. The Jets could be in the market. We won't be, or we might not have as high of a percentage to land that player if we only have, you know, $1 or $2 million in available space. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.